from our guy Ryan says, Mike and Jordan, basically, I have a question for you guys. Think you could answer on the pod. It's about big corporations and hiring personal trainers. I have family and friends working for companies like National Grid, MetLife Insurance, and Amazon. All three of those companies somewhat know the value of exercise in some way. They do at least one of these things. Number one, pay their employees to work out. Number two, have a gym at the facility. Number three, hire athletic trainers for acute injuries / range of motion work. Number four, spend millions on disability / healthcare for their employees. So why on earth do none of them hire personal trainers? He's asking, why do none of these big companies hire personal trainers? Is it because personal training is relatively new still? I just think not only would it be extremely beneficial for the companies and the employees involved, but it would also be for the personal training career as a whole. I'm not sure if anyone has tried, but part of me wants to go to Amazon and explain the benefits of hiring a personal trainer for their employees. I know that's an extreme long shot, but it makes sense to me. Have either of you tried working with a big company or had the opportunity? Sorry the email was long, but the two of you are the ones I wanted to come to about this the most. Ryan.
Okay, so this is a great question, but I'm going to answer it differently than how Ryan expects. So Ryan just said that he's going to go to one of these companies and explain the benefits of personal training. It's a terrible fucking idea. They know the benefits of personal training. It would be like if I, let's say I had like a dirty rug and a rug salesman or a vacuum salesman came up to me and was like, hey, you know the benefits of having a clean, I know the fucking benefits, but like I'm grinding my ass off working and I don't want to take the time to vacuum the rug. It's just not as important to me. Like I don't really care about it. That's more of the situation that's going on. When you have these big companies, they have so many things that's going on at any point in time. They have fires to put out all day, every day, tons of employees, tons of problems, tons of legal issues, tons of manufacturing issues. They have so much to focus on, and they don't want another thing on their plate. So your sales pitch is not, hey, do you know the benefits of having a personal trainer? Your sales pitch is, let me make this as easy for you as possible. I'm going to take this entire thing off your plate, and I'm going to help your employees get in better shape, and you won't have to think about a fucking thing. That's what your sales pitch is. Your sales pitch is not, let me tell you the benefits. It's sort of like you say someone who's smoking cigarettes. They know that it's bad for them. They know there's a skull and crossbone on the box. You don't go up to someone smoking cigarettes and say, well, do you know the benefits of not smoking cigarettes? You explain to them, you figure out a way to make it easy for them. You make it as easy for them as possible. So from like, and I don't know the answer to this question. I don't know like what exactly you're going to do to make it as easy for them as possible, but you want to make sure like you should go in there with like, hey, here's the deal. Like number one, I'm going to do this for free. You're not going to have to pay me a dime for the first month. Number two is like, I'm going to run classes and this is the whole plan and this is what's going to happen. And just again, make it as easy for them as possible. So the reason I got excited to answer this question is because so many people they're doing the wrong pitch. People know the benefits of exercise. They know the benefits of having a personal trainer. They're very well aware. They just don't want to add another thing in their life that's stressing them out and making it more difficult. They have to put it in their calendar. They have to have more meetings. They don't want to do that shit. So how can you make this as easy for them as possible? That's the question.
I love it. I don't have a good answer, Ryan.
Clip that.
Fire content in the short form all over the place. I mean, I haven't run the numbers here, but I would imagine that to have adequate personal training for an entire company is way more expensive than what's going on here, like what they're already providing.
Yeah, way more.
What is that? Was that your keyboard?
Oh no, sorry, I was spinning this bottle cap around.
Pay your employees to work out is 20 popcorn. I love popcorn. I could use some popcorn.
Your keyboard make a noise over there?
I'm like, what's going on? David will take care of that in the post. It's like $20 a month or something. This like insurance kickback that most, I mean, maybe it's bigger at a company like Amazon, but it's not a significant amount of money per employee, right? I assume that the reason no companies, like non-fitness companies, hire personal trainers is because the cost of having adequate personal training for the company, for all the employees of the company, exceeds the benefit of all of their employees working with a personal trainer. Like, period, end of story. I would imagine that's it. Unless we're just at a point where no one's tested it, it's too obscure. It seems like a large, because think about it. What would each employee get? One session a week with the coach, like one one-on-one session a week. Call that $100. So $400 per employee per month that's getting added to the bottom line, or sorry, not getting added to the bottom line, getting taken away from the bottom line. It's getting added as an expense for Amazon to have personal trainers on salary to cover every employee. I would imagine that they just are making a guess that to pay $400 per employee per month isn't going to generate that much more revenue by means of like employee productivity or whatever other mechanisms personal training leads to better quality of life for employee, which leads to better top line for the company. I'm guessing it's a math problem that they don't think plays out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know Google does it. I actually have a very good friend who is a personal trainer at Google headquarters in California. And I believe how they structure it is it's sort of like they have a gym and the personal trainers are just there and employees can schedule a time with that personal trainer. Now, I don't know who's paying the trainer. I don't know if it's Google employees. I don't know if it's the company. I don't know if that person is just on salary and they just say, hey, these are my hours that I'm open, book any time within these hours and it's good to go. I don't know how that works, but that might be a good framework to begin with, being like, hey, listen, like for the first month, you don't pay me a dime. After that, if you like this, I'll go on salary. I'll be working from this time to this time, and I will just work with anybody who wants to from this time to this time. That being said, I mean, that's going to be brutal for you. Like that's a very brutal schedule. Like, hey, I'll be open from 8 to 5, whatever, and just those hours will fill up. And like they absolutely, and it's not going to make very much sense to be like, yeah, I'll be on retainer from like 8 to 5, but I'll work every other hour. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think it's the best bet for you. Generally speaking, I don't think that it's a great option. Now, on the other hand, for a very short period of time, I mean, if you're working at some of these big companies, you might meet some really great people, make some really great connections, and work your way into a really incredible opportunity. But like, yeah, I think it's a very difficult battle to fight, and I think you should just be making content online. Probably going to be better off.
Yeah. And I don't know if Ryan was specifically, if it was more hypothetical or if it was really focused on himself and getting a position at one of these companies, but I agree. It would be a cool way to cut your teeth if there was a little bit of mentorship built in, if there was a little bit of like an existing structure, if there were other, coaches there, maybe more experienced overlooking you, and you could go in there and drink from the fire hose and get 40 sessions a week, that'd be pretty sweet. And do that for 6 months or a year if you've never coached anyone before, because the amount of experience you would gain through that opportunity would be incredible. But also, like you said, a brutal schedule. And I don't think it'd be 8 to 5. I think it'd be like, maybe like 6 to 7.
6 to 6. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And, yeah, that would be rough.